Welcome back to Aspire for Me. I'm Jesse, and this is Kim, and today is Frugal Friday, where we're reading through the book, The Art of Frugal Hedonism. Kim, what chapter are we on today?
We are on chapter 16 of The Art of Frugal Hedonism by Annie Razor Rowland and Adam Grubb. And 16 is titled, Don't Think About Money.
What? This whole channel is about money. Okay.
Let's see what they have to say. This book has to do with many things, and one of them is definitely money. Most books with anything to say about improving your relationship with money will tell you that you need to keep budgets and spreadsheets of your earnings and expenditure. This is no doubt dead necessary for some people who are in a tangle of debt or a financial pickle of some other form. We'd also recommend it as a revealing short-term experiment if you're the sort who frequently peers into the leathery crevices of your wallet and wonders just where all that money got to. And so quickly, too. If you are either of these people, you likely already think and even worry about money a fair bit. The utterly beautiful news we have for you is that for most folk who have made habits of minimal consumption second nature, money is something they rarely think about. This was one of the more shocking constants your authors observed when talking to frugal hedonist friends. Somehow even we had been somewhat sucked into the stereotype of the penny-pinching miser sitting up all night counting coins by the light of a grubby candle stub. It is magnificent how it works. You operate on the general basis that you don't go shopping for entertainment, and you mostly just buy stuff you really need or value. You repair, repurpose, borrow, and share things, buy fresh produce in season, take packed lunches. We'll stop there before we paraphrase this entire book within one of its own sentences, like some kind of conceptual babushka doll. And the spare money just seems to gently accumulate. It's actually a gorgeously exploitable paradox of living in a first world culture. Our wages are set to enable a basic standard of living that is more than basic. So if you can get good at living large on actual basics, you end up with more money than you know what to do with. Then you get to come up with something to do with it, and that part is very nice too. Thinking about money sounds annoying and dull. Worrying about money does not look fun at all. According to research, it breaks up lots of relationships and raises blood pressure and all manner of other horrible things. Personally, we would much rather worship our bicycles, eat more baked potatoes, have 3 pairs of jeans, and take very long holidays in warm climates.
All right. Well, don't think about money. I think this is something that we all could probably strive to get to, but I think we need to take this chapter for what it's actually saying, which is get to the point where you don't have to think about money.
Mm-hmm.
Set yourself up, learn how to manage your money, how to spend properly, and once you get to that point, stop thinking about money.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you just take this chapter on its own and you stop thinking about money and you just go on with life, you're going to get to the retirement age and end up at a point where you haven't thought about money and now you can't retire.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like where they're going with this, but I don't know that I like the way that they kind of catchphrased it at the beginning. So what are your thoughts?
I think I would love to not think about money. I hate thinking about money. I hate thinking about how much money things cost, how much money we're making, whether or not we cover our expenses, how we're investing. Like, I find no pleasure in thinking about money, which is why I'm only on the frugality segment of this channel.
And which is why you skipped over that section of the daily doses about money.
Yes, that's true. There is a future section about investing in monetary things that I find quite boring. But I think the whole point is to make frugality second nature, right? And to make this pursuit of frugal hedonism something that is so part of your life that you don't even think about it anymore. Like, if you identify as a frugal hedonist, then your whole point in life is to not spend money and find other ways of happiness. And when you do spend money, you spend it very intentionally and only on things that you really want or need. And so I get what they're saying here. Like, they are probably so frugally hedonistic that they don't even think about money. They just live their lives, and this is how they live their lives, is practicing the art of frugal hedonism. So I agree with you. If we can all get to that point where we don't have to think about money because the structures are in place, we've been saving, we have all of these practices that we do on a regular basis and it's become who we are, I think that you could have a much happier and more fulfilling life than if you're constantly thinking about budgets and numbers, unless that is something that gives you a lot of joy, which I wouldn't want to take that away from all of our friends out there who actually really enjoy a good budget or investing or...
Sure, yeah. I mean, if that's what you enjoy, looking at numbers and whatnot, but if that's something that stresses you out, the point is to get rid of those stresses in your life. So let's take a quick second and look back at kind of our financial journey and our thinking about money. And I think when we were younger, we didn't really think much about money.
Mhm.
Obviously, we paid our bills and we didn't get way in debt, but we did get some debt. And we didn't really know much about money in order to be able to think about money. So we thought about money in the way of a bit of a stressor of having to go to work to make it and not liking that aspect of it, but we didn't really think of money in a way of how can it work for us. And then we got on the Dave Ramsey, and we kind of learned a little bit more about how to get out of debt and how to understand money a little bit better, and just get ourselves on financial footing to where we didn't have to think about money as much. And I think that was a good point. I don't think we think about money as much as we did back then.
Yeah, I think definitely if you're on any sort of, debt snowball journey or Dave Ramsey plan or something, you're thinking about money with like a very focused intensity. Like it's kind of the biggest goal and thing that you're working on during that period of time.
Yeah. So I think we definitely don't stress about money as much now that we've gotten to that point of debt freedom, except for our houses, which is very nice and a very nice spot to be. And then I think so. Our next goal is financial independence and the lack of needing to think about money in a way that we understand our budgets, our goals, where we're headed, how much money we have, and kind of get to that point of not needing to worry as long as we structure our life around a set way of living. So I think we can definitely get there, and that's kind of where we're headed. So yeah. So what do you guys think? How much do you think about money, and how much do you want to be thinking about money? Are you more like Kim, where you wish you never had to think about money? Or are you like me, where you start a financial YouTube channel and think about money all the time, but not necessarily in a bad way? Or do you think about money and hate that you have to? So leave some comments down below. We'd love to interact with you down there, and we'll talk to you in the next Frugal Friday.
See you then.
Bye.